What up, YouTube? It's Robert Marshall coming back at you again from the Concord, Ohio. How is everybody? What's up, vape family? I'm gonna have me another chuff. I'm vaping on this Chaos mod. I had the cyan color going, loving it. This mod's amazing. Temp control, the whole deal. Not review time for it yet. Sorry, guys. You have to catch that one later. But I do want to talk about this Freemax Star Pure Tank. I know it's been out for a long time, and I'm not going to get into super big details. 25 millimeter tank. Of course, I have a custom drip tip on it. They're hard to find. You have to find this particularly is a 2 puffs. They're stackables, but they fit on the Star Pure really well. They don't overhang. They don't look funny. A lot of other custom 510s will. So that's a gate for anyone who has a Star Pure if you see that. Anyway, I want to get at this about this particular tank. The flavor is stellar. And for a sub tank, I've never tasted a sub tank with flavor this good. I mean, obviously, it's not as good as a dripper or an RDTA or an RTA, but it's for a sub tank, it's the best flavor I've ever experienced. So if that matters to anybody. Now, what I am vaping on in this beautiful sub tank, as I have a chuff. Clouds for days. Anyway, and that's at 50 watts, by the way, 55. And but what I'm geeking on here is the Black Pearl by Swag Sauce. It is a fruit cereal flavor with strawberry milk. Very stellar, very breakfasty, very mellow. It's nice and strong. It's an all-day vapable kind of thing. I know it's a breakfast vape. Lots of guys are like, screw breakfast vapes. I'm tired of breakfast vapes. I got really old with breakfast vapes for a long time. And I had Cereal Ninja, which this is basically, if you've ever had Cereal Ninja, it's basically Cereal Ninja with strawberry milk. And Cereal Ninja kind of was dry and breakfasty, and it was good early in the day to get your taste buds kicking and stuff. But it really wasn't like an all-day type thing, and it was more of a morning to late evening, kind of relaxing, fourth meal kind of vape. This is more all-day vapeable because of the strawberry milk. It's got more of a mellow, smooth flavor. The strawberry milk kind of mellows out the actual fruit cereal and makes it really level, but you get a little strawberry with your fruit. So I'm digging it. I'm going to have a chuff. Now, today I'm going to do a build tutorial, and I'm going to drop my camera angle down, so I'm going to be on the offbeat here, okay? And we're going to try to zoom in, and I have to use my cell phone, guys. So you're just going to have to kind of listen. Oh, I can't zoom in and out in camera mode. That's crap. Okay, so we're going to try to do this. I guess we're going to go back to a decent camera angle, and I'm going to try to bring this to me so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so basically, what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to do, I've already pre-straightened my pieces of wire, and of course, you're going to need your tools. I'm not going to get into this like a lot of the other YouTube guys. I need a chuff. It's making me nervous. Okay, and what we're using today, we're going to do a 3 millimeter mandible, or I'm going to use a 3 millimeter Stanley screwdriver. And we're going to do a staged parallel build in a different way, okay? What I'm going to do is, and for those of you who aren't common with stage heating builds, staged parallel builds, especially, you can do stage heating by using a smaller gauge of wire on one side with the same number of wraps, or different material. You can use like stainless steel and nichrome, and one will fire faster than the other, or canthanol and stainless steel, and you wrap them around. Use different size wires, or you can actually use different diameters. I prefer different size wires with the same diameter, but you can actually use a different diameter in the same wire and get the same idea, but it's not as effective. Okay, but what I'm doing is a parallel stage heating build that's not so complicated, because what I'm using is 24 gauge canthanol and 24 gauge nichrome, and I'm just going to build them. I'm going to build them to stage heat. So I'm going to use the same size wire and the same size diameter, but they should, and in fact should heat. They should in fact heat at different times, even though they're on the same diameter, because of the difference in the wire texture. Okay, so I have pre-straightened 2 pieces of 24 gauge, okay? And this is 24 gauge canthanol, and this is 24 gauge nichrome wire. They are the same size. And what we're going to do is these wires pieces are entirely too long, but I'm going to make a couple sets of these. So all we're going to do is the same thing we always do. We're going to go over this. You're going to grab a hold of here. I'm going to hand wrap. I'm going to do 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 with the nichrome. Straighten my leads out, clip it off. Of course, you're going to need cutters and tools. That's why I was saying I'm not going to go over it like everybody else does. Okay, and as you can see, this coil is imperfect. So, of course, I'm going to do some bending and some pushing. I'm going to do my technique where I shove it down, bend my leads, push this down, get these pretty well paralleled, okay? And that's going to be my faster stage heat. And I'm going to take my 24 gauge Canthenol, okay, and do the same thing, 7 wraps. 1, 2, ooh, I crossed them over, awesome. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Same number of wraps. Again, coil is imperfect. Clip it off. Okay. I know that my camera angle is atrocious. I haven't had. Okay, so of course, imperfect. I'm going to slide it down the screwdriver. I have a loose lead here. So I'm going to grab some toothless pliers. And I'm going to pinch this lead just like this. See how I got that bad loop? See, that 7th wrap is loose. So I'm going to just squeeze it down. And then I'm going to straighten it back out. Canthenol is really resistant, or resilient, okay? So, of course, the coil's not perfect, but in the glowing process, it will be, okay? And what we're going to install this on today is this is a 22 millimeter deck from a Double Vision, which I don't have the Double Vision RDA anymore, but I do have the... I don't have the Double Vision RDA anymore, but I have the deck, one of the decks still, because the other guy didn't want both decks. So I kept the deck, and I use it in my 22 millimeter Twisted Messes, which is one of my favorite Addies of all time. Now, of course, you're going to need the proper tools. I have to use this. This is the bit that came with this, and I actually super glued it into an open wrench so that I have it for these particular Addies, and a lot of other Addies. This 1.5 millimeters, pretty universal for most big post screwed things. I have several RDTAs and stuff that have smaller things and RDAs, but these bigger ones are all this 1.5 millimeter. I'm just loosening my, as I babble on, I'm simply loosening my stuff so I can get ready for the mount. Okay, so as usual, we're going to mount these, so that they're mounted properly. I'm trying to hold my camera angle up so you guys can see. I mean, I basically feel like most of you should know how to mount coils. I was just going over the baseline idea of trying to get to the staged thing. And there's so many ways to go about the staged heating thing. You have differences in wire material, and you have differences in... let's scoot this angle down a little bit so you can at least half see what I'm doing. You have staged heating based on diameter, and then you're going to have staged heating based on material, and then you're going to have staged heating based on wraps. I prefer to use the same number of wraps so the coils look as if they're the same, but yet when they fire, they stage. So I don't use like a lot of guys will use different size wire, different size diameter. And what I'm doing this tutorial for is this is my favorite way to stage heat, personally, okay? And I said parallel, and I originally was going to do parallel stage heating, and then I kind of misconstrued myself. Of course, we're going to clip the leads, right? And because of this nichrome, I'm going to have to do some fidget twisting here and kind of wobble these off, these velocity style decks. This is how I actually deal with a lot of my leads, is by doing the wobble thing, and then I just retighten them because I feel like they come off easier, especially with single wire stuff. If I'm working with fused Claptons or things like that, I don't do this, and I'm more precise to the cut. But these, I can just get away with. See, I loosened it. So I'll just tighten it back down, give it a twist, grab it again, twist it back and forth, it'll snap off. So eventually it'll snap off. Sometimes you fight with this. This particular one, of course, because the other ones came off so easily, is being very complicated. Oh my goodness. I apologize for this, guys. Things are not going exactly like I want. Get this last lead, give it some wiggles, try to get to snap. See, that nichrome comes off a lot easier, I can tell by the way they break. So then, of course, we're going to go into the process. We're going to go in here, straighten these up, give them a little pinch, get them tight, centered. Same thing on the other side. Give it pinch, tightened. You know what I mean? Get them even across the board. All right. I feel like that is out of there. So I'm going to loosen this up. I don't think this is actually holding this. So I think I might have wiggled too much and loosened some stuff up where it shouldn't have been. or I may have cut it inside, which is highly probable with this nichrome and single strand like this. So it comes with a common problem. I think I might have fixed it though. No, that still feels like crap. The other side's loose now. Oh my goodness. So in the future, guys, realize that if you do this twisty method, you're sometimes going to eat a little bit of crow. So anyway, I know that this is boring, this process here. Everyone hates it, but it's part of our process. So we're going to try to get these leveled off again now that I think I actually have all of them clipped in. Try to pinch them and get them centered. You know, all this drama that you got to go through. You guys know how this goes. Okay. All right. And then I'm actually have to leave camera for a second because I literally do not have a mech mod. Actually, give me one. Marshall. Buggy, will you get me one of my mechs? Sorry, I'm going to have my grandson grab it for me so I don't have to come off camera.
Where is it?
They're up here on the shelf, Diff. Anyway, sorry, I apologize, everybody. But my grandson's asking me where stuff's at, like he doesn't know. Just give me one of them. I don't care. Just give me a mech mod. Not the juice. I want the mod itself. There we go. Cool. All right. So anyway, he handed me this one because it's Purdy. My grandson knows how things work. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Addy particularly off of here. All right, now the first thing, obviously for safety purposes, we're going to unscrew this from the Addy stand, and we're going to place it onto the great and powerful ohm reader. Okay, and this is coming out 0.26. It'll probably go a little higher. It'll probably come out 0.28, almost 0.3. I'm still going to stage heat. Still going to vape good. You know, it's just going to be a little higher. Most of it's for the benefit of the tutorial itself. You know, on the stage heating, I'm not going to wick this. I'm not going to vape it right now. I'm not going to nothing with it. I'm just going to glow it up and show you guys what I'm trying to talk about with the stage heat. So we're going to try to do it at an angle here. If I can get a fire out of it. Ha ha ha. With the craps. Okay. I'm going to have to readjust some things apparently. And I apologize for all of the shenanigans and all of the failures in this little video today, guys. I know it extends the video significantly for basically no reason. It would help if the mod had a battery in it. Apparently, I don't have a battery in this mod. So that's probably why it wasn't firing, huh? So we'll gut this up. See, these are the kind of errors I make once in a while to show how real my videos are sometimes. They're kind of raw and uncut. I don't cut my stuff. So for those of you who enjoy perfect videos, I'm sorry that I can't achieve these goals for you. But I'm just a real vapor with real deal ideas around here. I wish this would fire. There we go. So as we glow these, you notice how much faster this coil is than the other one. So we're going to do some pinchy. This one's got a little gap in it that I'm not happy with. So we're going to just keep kind of pinching at it and strum it a little. You guys know. You've seen me do this crap before. Kind of strum out a little, get it glowing from the inside out, both of them. You know, 24 gauge isn't my favorite gauge of wire, but I'm kind of forced into using it. God, but you just pinch and glow from the inside out. Okay, so the two different materials are going to glow at a different rate. Notice, okay, this Canthanol is a little slower, and what this is going to cause is this is going to give you instant vapor. See how they heat staged? Okay, these are close stage heats. They're not far distant stage heats. And if we would have used a different diameter coil, they would have staged differently. I could have used a 3mm and a 2.5 and a 3, and it would have staged differently. But these are what I call just still stage heats. This nichrome is going to give you instant vapor, and the other one's going to come in a little slower. Now you'll be able to tell the difference in the wire materials if I can get it to focus. The blue hued one is obviously the nichrome, and the oppositional one is the Canthanol that doesn't have a blue hue. And of course I kept them separate in the process of making, but this did come out about 0.2 something, probably close to 0.3 with no wicks in it. I'm going to retest it now that it's glown. But anyway, this entire tutorial was about the baseline idea of using stage heating in an everyday application as opposed to a competition or unrealistic application. Okay, so anyway, guys, now that you've seen that, I'm going to re-ohm test this right quickly, and then we're going to get out of this video so you can go on with yourself. All right, 0.29 is what it came out together, so it'll be a nice high build, potentially be used on a series box, and it'll stage heat. And what'll happen is, one, I need a chuff. One side will, thank you, Dr. Pepper. And one side will heat faster than the other and cause more of an instantaneous vapor production. The other side will come in a little later and give you a thick, dense vapor. It's one of my favorite things to do. So we'll have a chuff of this beautiful juice on this beautiful mod, on this beautiful tank. And I say to you guys, vape happy, vape safe. Peace out, YouTube.